I still vividly remember that night, a night of glitter and glare, where every step of the stars brought its own shine. Weibo Night is always an event to look forward to, not only because of the awards given, but also because of the unexpected moments that often arise between celebrities. But that night, something was different. There was something warm and gentle between the two figures who looked so harmonious, Bai Lu and Dylan Wang. As one of the members of the media team assigned to the backstage area, my task is simple: to make sure every precious moment is captured from an inconspicuous angle. But unexpectedly, I actually witnessed one of the most tender moments that was not captured clearly by the main camera. That afternoon, before the event began, Bai Lu arrived first. She wore a delicate golden white dress, with open shoulders and a smile that always captivated anyone who saw. His hand waved to some of the staff while bowing politely, as always, gracefully but still modestly. A few minutes later, Dylan Wang arrived. He wore a classic black suit, his hair neatly combed, but with a little messy touch typical of him. When her eyes met Bai Lu's in the guest lounge, I saw her slightly smile, an unfeigned smile. "Long time no see at an event like this," Dylan said quietly, half-jokingly. Bai Lu chuckled a little, her eyes sparkling under the light of the dressing room lamp. "Yes, this time it's not on the set, but there are still a lot of cameras." "And there's still you," Dylan replied as he straightened his suit with a relaxed expression, but it was clear his tone was soft. I pretended to be busy checking my tape recorder, but their little conversation was too beautiful to ignore. There is a sense of comfort between the two, like two people who are used to sharing laughter behind the scenes of drama. As the show began and they walked the red carpet, the camera's relentless glare followed. However, the best moments happen when they are unknowingly being watched. While sitting in the row of guests of honor, Bai Lu and Dylan were placed next to each other. At first both seemed formal, sitting upright, staring at the stage, occasionally smiling into the camera. But as soon as the event lasts longer, small familiarities begin to appear. When the host mentioned their names as nominees, Bai Lu lowered her head slightly, looking nervous. Dylan quickly whispered quietly, "Take it easy, you must win." Bai Lu turned her head with a shy smile, her eyes twinkling. "What if we don't win?" "If not, I'll buy you dinner," Dylan replied with a laugh. The camera did highlight their faces, but the small conversation was only heard by people sitting very close, like me, who happened to be on the left side of the row of guest reporters. I saw how Bai Lu looked down with a laugh, then patted Dylan's arm softly. The moment was brief, but enough to make the entire crew in the front area look at each other and whisper quietly, "They look really close, don't they?" A few minutes later, a sweeter moment happened involuntarily. When the stage lights dimmed for the segment change, Bai Lu briefly lowered her head to tidy up the hem of her dress. Dylan, sitting next to him, spontaneously helped to get rid of the folds of the fabric so as not to be trampled. He does it without much talk, reflexively and sincerely. "Thank you," Bai Lu whispered in a low voice. "I'm here to help you," Dylan replied. The sentences are simple, but pronounced in a gentle tone, enough to make the atmosphere around them feel different. As the show neared its end, they both took to the stage with several other stars for a closing photo session. The light of the spotlights highlighted their faces, and I had time to see how Dylan looked down slightly, making sure Bai Lu didn't have any trouble stepping in her long dress. One hand behind her, not touching, but ready to resist if suddenly the dress is stepped on. His movements are attentive. And during the photo session, Dylan had time to glance at Bai Lu with a small gaze that was difficult to explain. Not the formal gaze of a colleague, but the gaze of someone who was really paying attention. Bai Lu replied with a short smile. And at that moment, flashes of cameras from different angles flashed together, capturing the expressions of those who seemed to speak without words. After the show, the backstage atmosphere became more relaxed. Many celebrities chatted, laughed, and took pictures together. Bai Lu was seen talking to his team, while Dylan stood not far from him. Sometimes their eyes meet. I watched as Dylan approached, brought a bottle of mineral water and handed it to Bai Lu. "You must be thirsty, right?" he said. Bai Lu smiled, accepting the bottle with both hands. "You always remember the little things." "As for you, I remember," Dylan replied with a slight smile. I almost lost focus with my camera, because the conversation sounded too sweet not to capture. But I chose to stare from afar, keeping that moment in memory. A few hours after the show ended, photos of them began to appear on social media. Fans immediately excited. They look so different. Dylan looks protective to Bai Lu. OMG. Please don't tell me this is just a promotion. Meanwhile, a short video recorded by fans on the red carpet was also circulated. In the video, it is clearly seen how Dylan slightly turns to Bai Lu every time the camera's spotlight is pointed at them, as if to make sure that he is okay. And Bai Lu, on the other hand, always looked down with a smile that could barely be hidden. The next day, as our media team reviewed all the footage, a colleague of mine said with a chuckle, "If it's acting, they deserve a double award. But if they're not, yeah, they're really sweet." I just smiled hearing that. Because behind all the crowds, I knew what I saw that night wasn't acting. Not a planned moment, but a pair of sincere interactions that grow out of real comfort and mutual respect. Weibo Night may be just one of many big events in the entertainment world, but for those who look closely, the night holds something special. Two stars who shine on the same stage, but share small moments that only the two of them understand. Sometimes, love doesn't need a big confession. Just a little smile between the lights, or a warm look captured on camera by accident. And the world knows there's more to life than just a collaboration. And until now, every time I see their photos from Weibo that night, I can still feel the warm atmosphere. Dylan's attentive gaze. Bai Lu's gentle smile was soothing. A simple harmony that, whether consciously or unconsciously, led everyone in the room that night to believe that perhaps, behind the spotlight and glamour of the entertainment world, there was a genuine feeling that had really grown between them.